Hello, my name is Mama Alto. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the current CEO of Transgender Victoria. I would like to begin by acknowledging the owners of the land and waters where we meet. Transgender Victoria has offices on Wurundjeri country and on Bunurong country, who are peoples of the Kulin Nation. And our work takes place across the lands of various country and peoples across the land now known as Victoria. We pay our respects to elders past and present, and acknowledge emerging leaders, as well as acknowledging and paying respects to country, culture, and language. We extend that respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander peoples joining us today. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. We're here today to celebrate and observe Trans Day of Visibility. Trans Day of Visibility is an annual international celebration of trans pride and awareness, recognising trans and gender diverse experiences and achievements. On March 31st, gender diverse people all around Australia and the world celebrate by sharing stories, starting conversations, and attending events, such as this one. Days like this are important because for many gender diverse people, a lack of representation, role models and community can be isolating and make it difficult to feel proud in our identities, let alone safe in society. Trans Day of Visibility is a day of pride and celebration for gender diverse identity, achievements and community. For a community that is too often underrepresented, discriminated against and stigmatised, Trans Day of Visibility is about reclaiming space and being visible on our own terms, celebrating who we are and how we survive and thrive. Trans Day of Visibility was started by activist Rachel Crandall in 2009 as a reaction to the lack of recognition of trans people, noting that at the time the only well-known gender diversity-centred day was Trans Day of Remembrance, a solemn day of mourning for those lost to violence and those who had passed away as a result of discrimination and stigma. And so Trans Day of Visibility was created as a day to celebrate our communities, and it has been held on March 31st ever since. Now, visibility can be a wonderful thing, celebrating our trans and gender diverse communities, but it can also be fraught and difficult. For some of our community members, it's simply not safe or possible to be visible. So it's up to those of us with the relative privilege of visibility to keep working towards a better world where all trans and gender diverse people can be safe, loved, included, and celebrated. The power of visibility cannot be denied. We often hear the phrase, if you can't see it, you can't be it. Through days like Trans Day of Visibility, through seeing each other thrive and flourish, we strengthen each other. We give sustenance to our hearts and spirits that are so often trampled down by the discriminations and stigmas our trans and gender diverse communities face. So in the spirit of Trans Day of Visibility, let's continue to create that better world and that brighter tomorrow. In the professional worlds that each of you will move in throughout your lives and careers, across the spheres of applied psychology, management, law and justice, you will be uniquely positioned to influence and impact trans and gender diverse equality and equity across many facets of society. So for those of you who are trans and gender diverse, you can be the role models and beacons to your peers and kin. And for those of you who are allies, your support through your work and through engagement in lifelong learning and growth in your allyship will make a world of difference. If you are interested in further ways to learn, engage with and support trans and gender diverse people, you can get in touch and visit us through Transgender Victoria at tgv.org.au. Transgender Victoria, also known as TGV, is Victoria's leading body for trans, gender diverse and non-binary people. We work to achieve justice, equity and inclusion for trans and gender diverse people and our partners, families, friends, communities and allies. In doing so, we look to achieve better social, economic, health, well-being and mental health outcomes for our communities. Major elements of our work include providing training, diversity education and consultancy, contributing to advisory groups for key bodies and organisations, advocating and lobbying for improvements to laws, policies, procedures and infrastructure, celebrating and commemorating significant LGBTIQA+ events and days of observation throughout the year, including Trans Day of Visibility, as well as Trans Day of Remembrance and Trans Awareness Week, creating and supporting opportunities for trans, gender diverse and non-binary people to experience capacity building, growth, learning and pathways, including through our peer support program in partnership with the Victorian Government, and creating and supporting opportunities for connection, visibility and community. You can support our work by hiring us for any of these services, as well as by becoming a member, a volunteer or donating. To conclude, thank you for the invitation to speak and thank you for celebrating and observing Trans Day of Visibility. May it not just be a celebration, but also a reminder of the work still to be done and the power that many of us hold to do that work.